Well, hey everybody, it's Steve at 1000 Year Homes. Welcome aboard. So, water is a problem. I'm on a dry cabin and I've tried to do restorative agriculture 3 times, and every time I lost everything. I put on over 1,000 trees and they died to the last tree, no matter how much I babied them. Well, taught me about Texas. One, I'm going to have to dig each hole large using my backhoe, fill it in with decent dirt, sandy loam. This clay's just too rich, and then I got to make sure I have water, and I drip irrigation or whatever I choose to use, I'm going to need it. So I saw this on a Craigslist. They said 10 foot. It ends up that it's about 12 foot. It's 53 inches high, right? 4.5 foot high. So I went and got it, and in my mind I didn't look up how much such a thing weighs. It weighs 1,100 pounds. Plastic weighs a lot, and it was just too big. Overhung my trailer, my 9 foot wide, maybe 10 foot wide trailer by 2 foot, which I was allowed with tech stop, but I still drove flashers home, back roads. It was hard, and I just got it here. So but it was free. And then I looked it up, and these things are between 3 and 6,000, 8,000. This is heavy duty. It's thick wall plastic. It was ammonium sulfate, which is a type of fertilizer. It's used regularly for food services, cattle feed, that kind of thing. It's not going to hurt me to put water in it. In addition, it's been open air for forever. So my goal is to make this a reflection pool, and to that effect, I went ahead and I've been digging this hole out. Yesterday I put water in it to make it soft, and today I'm going to put and install the shipping container into it, and hopefully get a backfill and pat down, and then I can start doing earth bag, hyper adobe around it. So it'll be a reflection pool. Now, in moving it, I cracked it a couple of places. So there's a crack there. I see a crack in the floor. Listen, if it doesn't hold water as is, I will go ahead and get a vinyl liner that matches this, and I'll replace the vinyl liner every 10 or 15 years. But, I did all of this work. All of these brakes weren't there. I did it moving it because it was tremendously heavy for my little tractor. Still is. But I've got that strap around it. Well, let's see here. Behind me I have a tank that I think is about 3,200 gallons worth of water. And I want to bury it in the ground. And I started digging that hole, as you saw on the stop motion. So the tank is about 10 foot 8 inches around in diameter. So I'm going to dig 11 so that when the hole's not round, and then it'll just drop in. There's a spout in the front for it, so I need to remove the spout when I drop it in, and or dig the spot so that I could put in a spout. That'll be the drain and the overrun. The tank is right here next to the shipping containers. So the shipping container, you can see right there, I got a gutter that's going to come down. So I'll go ahead and end up putting in gutters all the way around that'll capture all the rain. And then 1 inch of rain is 300 some odd gallons per shipping container, if I remember right. So, and then when I get the roof in the middle section, I believe I'll capture about 30,000 gallons a year outside. So that'll only hold 3,000. So eventually I'll have a swim pool, or I'll pump it down, or I'll do something and run it up to the stock tank and drain this down and put it up there. Not sure, but it's part of solving the water problem for me. Inside the house, right now I'm a dry cabin. I just bring in water for me. I don't use that much. But eventually, if I want to have trees, I've tried to grow trees out here without water, agricultural water. Can't do it. Can't do it. Texas won't let me do it. So anyway, what I want to do is I want to drop that container into the ground, and then I want it to be about this high, because this will be a wraparound porch, and the porch will come up and go down, and it'll be an organic kind of a Mexican style porch. But I want it to come out to the shipping container and have just a little bit above so I can use it as a tranquility pool. So that will be my goal. I've made a pretty good dent in this. You know, the bottom's not done yet. I think that I'm close, but let's see how close we are to 11 feet around. I just eyeballed it, you know, so all right, well that weighs 11. This weighs 10 foot 4 inches, so it's not round yet, so I will still go all the way around it. I'll put a stake in the middle, and then I'll also make sure that it's level for when I push that in here. You know, I'm going to get one shot at putting that into the ground, and because it's heavy. I did it. It's 1,100 pounds worth of you know, polyethylene. So when I put that in the ground, I've got to make it right. I've thought about running boards on there so I could pull it in, and if it doesn't fit, pull it out. But I'm just going to make sure the hole's big enough, and you know, I'll put it in. If I end up with a little bit of angle, which isn't good for the walls, that's almost 1 inch thick polyethylene. It won't make much of a difference. You know, I might get in there with a strap and pick it up or something. I don't know. But I need to make sure that the bottom, this is as perfect as possible. And so this isn't bad for a first pass. I'll clean up the walls, make it all the way around the right size. I'll probably pull up my tractor as close to this as I can and start smoothing all of that out and making sure that that's round and putting the dirt over here. And then when I'm done, I'll put earth bags around the plastic. And so it'll be about yay high off the ground, and then I'll have a ledge over it, and it'll be a tranquility pool. I'll have a ladder so if people get in, they can get out, etc., etc. So it was 56 tall, which is right there if I put that in the ground. So that feels pretty good. Yeah, that's about right. It's about 24 deep. All right. Well, let me go ahead and put the camera over there, move my tractor around here. It'll be hard to fit. I'll have to move some things. Get it in on this end as close as I can so I can start cleaning this all up. And maybe I'll get lucky and it'll rain and pat this down a little bit, show me where the low and high spots are. All right, well, this little dog leash is 5 foot 6 inches, so that's 11 foot when I measure it. So all I'm doing is just scraping it on the ground, going around, making sure. Well, I love digging in the dirt. I really enjoy it. So this is one day's complete work. I had started on it a little bit because I used the dirt out of here to make the cliff walls for the bridge. But now I'm going to make a Serenity pool that'll hold 3,000 gallons of outside water. I'm hoping it doesn't rain tonight and the walls collapse in. But if it does rain tonight, and it'll show me what level is. So, you know, there's that. I'm close, as you all could see. I'm like 4 inches short on this one end, so I'll come around with the tractor tomorrow. But first I'll get all of that side raked and nice and whatnot, then I'll come around and I'll do this side. So my goal is when I'm done, I could just push that tank in here and it'll be ready, and then I'll get a ladder and escape thing for animals to crawl out of, and I'll earth bag around the outside of it so the horses can't lean on it and damage it. And that'll be a feature piece of the Spanish Mission house, to have water nearby and close up, and I'll put in mosquito dunk in it and everything I got to do. I might even put plants and fish in it and use it as an emergency food stock in case something happens. But this looks good. I'm down officially deep enough. Everything will be about eye level, and that which doesn't fit, I'll just customize when I pour the cap stones around the outside. It'll look great. So just a little bit of work for tomorrow. This will be enough for tonight. All right, I'm trying to get a rough level in there. I think I'm getting close. Clay is super hard to work with. So what I'm going to do is drain that 320-gallon tank right there into this, let it soak. It might rain in the next couple of days too. This could all be a mistake. But I'm hoping by the end of the day I can get sand in the bottom of this and then push the tank in there and get my 3,000 gallons in the ground sitting there, so I can start working on that. That's the goal. Let's go ahead and turn on some water in here. All right. I'm going to let that tank totally run. And hopefully it'll find its own level. At the very least, it'll show me where it's not. I'll get in there later this evening and I'll rake it smooth. I'll go ahead and screech out some sand, filter some sand, get it back in there. About an inch of sand, and then I'm going to push that tank in and patch it up over this week. I have cold coming, extreme cold and rain coming in about a week. So I'm on a clock. And I want to get this done, but how fun is this? I might be able to turn that off after 100 gallons. Not too flat, not too bad. I'm gonna zoom out. Listen, that was eyeball and rough cut. Listen, that's not too bad. It's filling up pretty even. I'm pretty proud of that. There's a high spot right there I can see. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna put 100 gallons in there. Halfway down. That's about a quarter of it, so looking about 75. So another 100 gallons. Let's say out of the 300 gallons, I put in 150. We'll go that route. All right, just gonna let that about 150 gallons came out of there. Just gonna let it sit, percolate, get down into the soil. I might get this into the ground tomorrow. And I'm gonna go ahead and hook onto it and drag it into the hole today. And without further ado, that's going to be the project. Well, that went as poorly as I expected. Really did. I pushed the mud in. It just made a mess. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go around it with the fork truck and, pick it up and rake and pick it up and rake. Man. All right, but it's in the hole. I don't think it's level yet. Well, so I'm real close here. This wasn't quite cut square, I mean, depending on where I measure it, I could tell because there's still tension on it. It's not round, like it's just not relaxed. I'll get my laser out tonight, and I'll put a laser across the top and see if I can get this thing A little more. It's not bad. I'm wondering if I flooded the ground again. Like this way is square. This way, I've got a high and a low. And it says it's square, but it's not. So if I pulled some of it back and I came in from these sides and picked it up, I think it would settle in. All right, Internet, like and subscribe. I've got a 1,100 pound tank in there, almost kind of level. I see it's a little ovoid, right? Which tells me there's pressure on one end or the other. My idea is to flood this and let it just, settle in, find its own, and then open it up. So that's what I might do. I'm not sure. I'm still going to come in at it a couple of angles and just tweak it with the forks and see if I can pick up the tension and, get the tension out of it. And then I have to fix it. And then lastly, I have to go around it with earth bag and mud it. I don't mind that one corner being a little low because I need a spillway. And so I was going to set that up anyway. And then I need to get the plumbing in over here. I don't know. We'll see. I like it. Like, subscribe, follow me along.